Okay, so recently I asked the question, has inflation changed your shopping habits? Back in a minute. Hey, this is Jan. I like to help people save or keep their money. How you doing today? Recently, I wanted to take a pulse on my viewers, my listeners to know if recent inflation, some people say we're in an early recession, whatever, any of the recent events, financial changes have changed your habits. So what I did was I condensed down into 12 bullet points your answers. So that way it's pretty much a conglomeration of the answers from you guys, and I extracted the best of the points you made and put them into 12 points. Here you go. Number 1, look for low ingredient recipes, but do recipes with everyday ingredients. I really, really like this idea. Yes, it makes so much sense to search out the low ingredient recipes. As much as I can possibly do this, at least hopefully once every maybe week or two, find a low ingredient recipe or a suggestion for a recipe. And by using the recipes using everyday ingredients, like common ingredients that you have at home, you don't have to go out and buy them. That's even better. Thank you so much for that. Another one recently, you might recall, another tip that was identified that some shoppers have shopped out of boredom. In fact, if you recall, not that long ago, I did a whole show about it based on this person's answer. And I should really hook this up again for those that have missed that show. It was a great show because it was a great point. And you know what? This is a very common issue. So check out the video that goes about this in case you have not had an opportunity. Next, number 3, many more folks are eating out less. So you guys are eating out less and you're meal planning more. I was really happy to hear that because I feel this way. It's so important to know your inventory and whatever style of meal planning that fits your family that you like to do. Guess what? That's the one that works for you. Some people do like to write down a list and glue it to their with a magnet on their refrigerator. Some people love to do it that way, and for their family, great, or write it on a chalkboard. Some people just rather just know all the ingredients they have for the whole week and catch can catch and make a meal out of that, whatever the mood takes them at any given time. Some people keep it simple, sweetie, which is a great plan of action, keeping the meals as simple as possible. And some others like to do batch cooking. Any form of meal planning, knowing what you know ahead of time will definitely help reduce the incident of you having to pick up the phone or using gas to go to the place to do the fast food thing. You see where I'm going with this. And I don't understand why some people think it actually saves time to do all that extra legwork. To me, being able to do all of this in the comfort of home, that is a true time and money saver. So I was really happy to hear about the meal planning. That's great. And the ones that do eat out, so many folks are eating out much less, but some have mentioned that if they eat out, it's only for special occasions or a simple type of takeout that can yield some leftovers, like Chinese food takeout or leftover pizza takeout. So sometimes you could get really good deals. Look in your local area for those pizza coupons or those pizza deals, and that would work out a lot better if you do it that way on occasion. Next, because of fuel prices at the moment, many folks are either shopping on foot, like walking to the grocery store, using their little wagon, and so on, or have greatly reduced the frequency of their monthly trips. That's a great idea, on both counts. That's a great idea. And to consolidate your trips, if you do use gas, like make it all in one trip type thing without having to, do this over and over. Next, a number of viewers also batch cook whenever possible, as I briefly mentioned earlier. One of those people is myself. Okay. Whenever possible, I do enjoy batch cooking. Like I always say, I am the CEO of my own kitchen. I like knowing what's in there. I like making a whole listen, if I'm going to make a mess anyway, what's to stop me from just making a few meals from the same mess, if you will, the same cleanup? And wonderful budget stretchers, as we know, are things like ziti, lasagnas, casseroles, things of that nature, and so on and so forth. Next, some viewers are paying more attention to meal do overs. For those that are new, a meal do over is just a better way of saying leftover because some people don't like the word leftover. Me personally, I'm happy when I hear there's food left over. That means it's going to probably taste better the next day. I could create something totally new from it. And I am stretching a buck on stuff that I already paid for. So for me, the word leftover, do over makes me happy. I have no problem. More viewers now are welcoming the extra food that is left over and actually see it as the actual win that it actually is. Next, number 7, some folks watching this channel grocery shop sale items only. They shop around the sales and what is in season. And what's in season basically determines their meal plans at the time. Well, that makes a total amount of sense to me, so that's great. Number 8, some choose to eat out only on special occasions or while on vacation. Yep, again, makes a lot of sense. Next, some are using less ingredients but more spices to jazz up their meals and keep them from being boring. I get that. I get that. It is incredible what like a certain change here or there can do. It is just amazing. Even just like, let's say, placing a vegetable inside of a casserole that you never did before. Thinking beyond the box, trying something different. Just work with what you have, but try something different about it. Use either less or more, a different spice, a different fruit, a different vegetable. You see where I'm going with this, so it doesn't get old or boring. Next, some wise viewers are stocking up for hurricane season and looking ahead to be prepared. I see no reason not to do that. I actually do not understand the idea of not to err on the side of caution. If I'm going to make a mistake, I'd rather make a mistake on the side of caution. First of all, we always know we're going to eat. Eating is a part of life. So if I don't have the hurricane, yippee, who wants one, right? If we don't have, all these other, disasters that leave us, stuck in the house or whatever and eating out of our pantry, great. We are going to use up that food anyway. That is why it is important to have that stuff to be ready just in case. Isn't it better to be ready just in case than to find yourself caught short? And don't rely on your neighbor to help you. Don't. Some might not. Some don't have it themselves. Some might be knocking on your door for help. Keep that in mind. And some actually have not changed their habits at all whatsoever. And I'm going to guess on this. Some have reported that they have not changed their habits at all whatsoever. But you want to know something? My guess is something like this because they were prepared already. You see, people who live the frugal lifestyle and plan ahead, this is nothing new. Things are not really changing for them in their own lives, no matter despite what is going on around them. Maybe a little change of getting to the store in terms of frequency might have changed, but their general lifestyle has not changed. That's why it's a great idea to always be informed, always plan ahead, and why not? And here we go again. Some rather continue to cook healthy meals from scratch. Like usually mainly using scratch ingredients, buying a ton of ingredients that you could put a meal together. And the only time that they use an actual recipe is for baking. And why is that? Because baking is a science. Everything else, you could sort of wing it. But when it comes to baking and measuring, that is actually a science. And you have to like adhere to the rules of science if you want your baking project to come out right. You guys are amazing. And thank you so much for your participation. And now I have a better pulse on what's going on at home with you guys in terms of how this situation has affected people. And I hope this gives you a broader sense of knowledge too of how your fellow viewers, what you guys are doing as well. Listen, everybody, till the next time, have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care. Bye bye.